grab your favorite beverage. It's time for Porch Therapy with Edward Dino and Keith Villery. It's a Porch podcast again and again. Edward, how you been?
I've been good, and of course the porch is full of plants we had to bring from inside. It's been too cold to drink martinis, as I was explaining to you in the old house. But I think after next week things are getting better.
Well, it's going to be 17 degrees on Saturday night, and the Mardi Gras parades in New Orleans are going to be frigid.
Yeah,
but I think we're going to go.
Yeah, you got to.
You got to. Cru de Vue is Saturday night, and it's going to roll through the French Quarter.
Right.
Before it used to on the edge, but now it's coming down.
And it's nice. It's nice.
It's really going to be nice. So we're going to go in and just bundle up, and
it's going to be 35-mile-an-hour wind.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So. So a lot of change since we met. I mean, we've whipped the mighty Venezuelan since
we got we
since
snipped
we
him
met.
out.
Yeah.
We only killed 100 people.
Yeah. I mean, we've become what is this? Is it the Funro doctrine, or is it?
I think it's a Dumbo doctrine.
I mean, we've kind of reestablished a 300-year-old doctrine to govern foreign affairs.
I don't know if he's ever read that. So I think it's just, the whole thing about we're going to take the whole Western Hemisphere.
Right.
And take control of it. And if you don't like it, we'll just take your oil.
Well, no, but inherent in that is we're giving up the rest of the world.
That's true.
And we're going to let China and Russia have their areas of influence, and we're going to have the Western Hemisphere, which is what Monroe kind of thought of back in the 1820s, and that which was, of course, before instantaneous communication, nuclear weapons. But we're gonna revert back to those types of foreign.
Well, we will be able to get bananas and coffee easier.
Yeah. We're gonna.
The oil in Venezuela is like tar. It's great for making asphalt roads, but that's about it.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that the oil company said, we don't know that we want to go back to Venezuela. It's going to take 10 years. Trump is only going to be in for 2.5 maybe. So what are they doing about that?
One. I mean,
it would be nice.
He's predicting his own impeachment,
he has, but not removal. The Republicans are still so loyal, and I hate to use that word, but I think they are loyal to his whole ideology. I don't understand it. I know some Republicans, and they don't like Trump, but they're loyal.
You're having votes like Epstein votes against Trump. You're having a lot of people voted, like in the House, voted to extend the credits for the Affordable Care Act.
Yep.
I mean, you're finding more and more
there are. There's 7 Republicans who just voted to not fund ICE. Recently.
Yeah, you're having more and more of that going on.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, not only do you have what might happen in the midterm elections, but then you're going to have the people coming up after the midterms elections that are going to have to be viewing their future, and they're going to have to start to cave the way the ones that have started to cave now have started to cave.
Yeah.
So it's
interesting because I think last night or this week, Georgia, one of the local Georgia, it might have been a Senate, flipped a seat from Republican to Democrat. There was some election where the winner, a Democrat, won 90% of the vote.
I saw that. I didn't catch what it was.
I didn't think that could even happen.
I didn't think that happened anywhere. But
so good things are happening out there. But today or yesterday, sent and it wasn't Christie. No, who's the head of intelligence?
Oh God,
She was.
I don't think there is one.
She was hiding in a van while the FBI broke into the Georgia elections and took all the elections, the ballots.
Yeah, they took the ballots.
They took all the ballots from Fulton County, and God, I hope they have copies, because they might be throwing them in the toilet or burning them in the fireplaces.
But there's nothing that can be legally done with that. I mean, you can't. There is no remedy to use those ballots. Everything that you could possibly use those ballots for is prescribed. The statute of limitations.
God, thank you.
You can't. You can't uncertify the elections.
No.
It's all politics.
It's all politics.
They
say it's preparation for the 2026 midterms.
Well, that's what the Democrats believe that it is, and it might be.
Yeah.
But this is all using the instruments of government strictly for politics.
Yeah.
And I mean, God knows what they might say, and thankfully their credibility is, what's going on, and we can talk about that later. But
we are probably going to be labeled
terrorists,
domestic terrorists, because we speak against the
great
leader,
one, yeah,
the dear leader,
the
dear felon,
yeah.
Anyway, I also saw George Will. I don't watch George Will a lot, but I've been watching him more, and he said that evidently, Trump owed E. Jean Carroll $86 million or something, and now it's over 100 and something million because he hadn't paid her, and some company paid his bond.
Oh, right. Yes.
So that he didn't have to pay the judgment.
Right.
He could wait until it
deal.
Exhausted whatever remedies that he might try. Well, evidently, the guy who signed the bond crashed, and now the bond is no longer securing the issue, and he might have to come up with like 100. They're talking about taking Trump Tower and taking all these things away from him. Where is Melania going to live?
Well, she's just going to have to live off of the revenue from her new movie.
Oh my God! Did you see that? They're paying people $50 to go to the movie, and the price of the ticket. But you have to stay the entire time.
I can't wait to see that crowd. You have to stay the whole time.
You have to stay to get the $50.
Oh my God, it's come to this. She is, you've got to admit though, she is a historic first lady. I don't know of any other first lady, except for maybe Abigail Adams, that ever posed in the nude.
I didn't know Abby did it.
I mean, she is a historic first lady, and I'm sure they covered that extensively in the movie.
I don't know.
I'll never know. I will never know.
But yeah, the movie is out for anybody that wants to go to the theater
and make a fast buck.
And make $50. You get $50 and the price of admission, but you got to stay the whole time.
I would say that
I'm waiting until it comes on TV.
I say go get the $50 and donate it to the Democratic senatorial campaign.
That'd be great.
That'd be something you might want to consider.
Yeah. Or Planned Parenthood or something.
I'll bring your phone and just, you don't have to watch it. You just have to stay there.
Yeah, that is the most recent thing, is that Melania's movie is out and they're paying people to go see it. They had I don't know, it was Philadelphia or somewhere, but they had one ticket sold.
Something like one in all of Australia sold, I think.
They just should go to the red states. I mean, speaking of red and blue states, I recently heard that the blue states realize they can't secede from the Union. Evidently, that's been...
That ship sailed.
Yeah, back in the 19th century. But they're talking about not having to send their revenues because they're not getting anything in return. Because Trump is cutting off all the funding to blue. I mean, everything. Mental health.
Well, it'd be
so the question is, can the blue states, if the blue states can cut their funding off and use it in their own state, Louisiana would be in trouble.
Louisiana would be in big trouble. It seems to me that it's a pretty clever idea, particularly in view of the fact that Trump's cutting the IRS enforcement to the bone. I mean, there's not going to be any enforcement to do that. I mean, I think that's a horrible state. I think that's a horrible situation for our country where we start
pitting blues against reds
and paying taxes based on right. There's no way I could support anything like that.
No, it's really unfortunate. I mean, it's every day is a new low, and again, I'm asking my Republican friends, do you approve of this stuff? You still support this guy? And what did I see today? There was something that came through Instagram where, where have we ever seen a country that's managed by
where you have, as you said,
a heroin addict who's in control of our health care.
Right. A reformed alcoholic.
Who's in control of the Department of War.
And who they report to.
A guy who's a 34 convicted felon.
Yeah. I mean, yikes.
I'm blown. My mind is blown.
Yeah.
So anyway, we are here. It's January in Louisiana. We're going to have 17-degree heat or cool, and we're going to take a break right now. We are back, and we want to thank Margaret for her help.
For her refreshments, and if she walks back in here again, she may end up on the panel because she's certainly expressed some opinions.
We need to get her on the panel maybe next time. But next time I'm going to bring my Christmas present. I have these beautiful microphones, but only have two.
I think that's fabulous. I just want to say this before we get off on more serious things. I can't think of anything more pathetic than the President of the United States, the most powerful man, taking the Peace Prize away from a woman who risked her life to earn it.
Yeah.
And this guy is so grasping and maudling and, needy. The most powerful man in the world needs her Peace Prize.
And she walks off with a bag full of trinkets from the store, from the Trump store in the Oval Office.
Well, I don't know, but the fact that he would allow himself to take that from her,
I know,
is just a complete lack of grace and dignity. It's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment. I just had to make that comment.
Yeah, and now he's got, is it FIFA, who, they gave him a Peace Prize. And maybe we can work up a Peace Prize.
We should work a Peace Prize.
Maybe in the next episode we'll give him something so he doesn't come after us as...
Yeah, I mean, good grief.
We are terrorists, according to him. Anyway, so what's happening? We have what's happening up in the north, in the cold north, and those poor people are an inspiration to the rest of the country. The fact that they're out there in 0-degree weather, singing and protesting, mostly peaceful.
Now, are you talking about Minneapolis or Greenland?
Minneapolis. Greenland, when I was young, I understood that Iceland was green and Greenland was ice. And Trump got it a little mistaken.
He's had a hard time with that.
And it was on the international stage. And he messed up and called Greenland Iceland a few times.
Yeah. You just hope that if he ever decides to push the button, he gets whatever place he wants it to go.
And I just wonder if, he's going to send these ICE troops up to Greenland once we take over and get rid of,
Yeah, I mean, but to get back to what you were saying, Keith, in Greenland, you had maybe 10%, 20% of the population, of the entire population. That'd be like having 60 million people protesting here. I mean, you've had of them protesting against their brand spanking new adversary, the United States of America.
And Denmark and Greenland will give America whatever they want. They want to do a Golden Dome. They want to have more troops there.
Yeah, it's over nothing. I mean, it's absolutely.
But if they want to give it to Russia, Trump will force them to give it to Russia. I think he really just wants to have something. Everything he's doing is horrible. All the ICE stuff. But he wants to have something that his legacy. So Greenland, it's going to be, part of America. Great. And Canada, we'll just, we lost that. We skipped over Canada. So now we're going to have a ballroom. And the rumor is that he's building a bunker under the ballroom where he and Melania can hide if they ever have a war. And I don't know.
I wish you'd do it now.
No. And then he wants to build an arch, like the one in France. And he's
needy. He's
gonna
embarrassingly needy.
He's going to carve Mount Rushmore too before he gets out. A coin with his face on it, a gold.
Well,
look, the gold card. You can buy your way into be an American citizen, but if you're poor, well then you get.
I have a compromise. I think that we need to do is to reach out to on the other side of the aisle, and they want to print money with Trump's. There's bills that have been introduced to print Trump's picture on money, and I think the Democrats should sponsor a bill in the spirit of compromise and create a $3 bill.
No more $2 bill?
I think put his picture on a $3 bill would be a real compromise and showing that we want to work with them. But I know you wanted to, and we can talk. I know you were talking about Minneapolis, and I sidetracked it to Greenland. But let's talk about Minneapolis. I mean, how can you not be so proud of Minneapolis?
Unbelievable. The people there. I mean, again, they're out protesting in 0-degree weather. I mean, it's going to be 17 this weekend, and I'm thinking not going out.
Yeah, we're thinking about not going to a Mardi Gras
parade.
It's
17 degrees, and these people are going out and getting sprayed with pepper spray and shot with,
I'm so, they really make you proud to be of the same country that they're from. I'm so proud to be of the same nationality of the people from Minneapolis are. And I just would like to support them any way that we can support them. They are just doing a fabulous job as Americans. And I've seen an interview of people that they're more interested in what their hairstyle is or where they go. And they don't know anything. Yeah. And you think, what's your job as an American? What's your duty? I mean, shouldn't you be informed? Don't you have an obligation as a citizen of this country to be informed? And there's a real problem there, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right, especially as an election, to be informed, an informed voter. And
now,
if you watch the news and Fox News, which has been litigated. Well,
they're the only major. They've been found almost $1 billion in damages.
Almost $787 million in damages for lying, and now CBS is going to follow right in line. And if CNN gets bought, it's a real dangerous situation.
Well, you've got business leaders that won't really stand up. You've got media people that are folding. You've got universities that are compromising their own principles.
Law firms.
And lawyers should be
But
independent.
the people on the ground
are not. And the people on the ground in the lower court jurisdictions are doing a great job.
Yeah.
Now, I find it interesting that the Supreme Court has yet to rule on the tariffs.
Yeah, I thought they were supposed to come this week, but
their arguments, they showed their hand. They're not going to be.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to split the baby in some way.
I don't know, but I think it is. You and I were talking earlier. I think it is unraveling.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the people are unraveling it, and we haven't even had a vote yet. Or all the votes have been
a lot of small elections,
and they've all been pretend a disaster for the Republicans.
Yeah, I just think what's happening in Georgia with him going in to take those ballots is preparation for the 2026 election. I mean, he knows that if he loses 2026, he'll be impeached. He said it.
Mm-hmm.
He won't be removed from office because the spineless Republicans in the Senate are still trying to protect him. And look at talking about that. Bill Cassidy is a senator from Louisiana, and he voted to remove him from office back when. And of course now he can't kiss his ass enough to try to get him. And it's like, dude, it's over. He's already supporting your opponent. Why don't you try to figure out how to be a moderate and get Democrats and independents to support you and beat this guy instead of trying to cower and go? I mean, it is so sad.
He needs to talk to Jeff Sessions. He needs to talk to Lynn Cheney. The idea that somehow Donald Trump is not emotionally capable of supporting a guy who voted to convict him. I mean, that's just no way that's going to happen.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
And Cassidy's a doctor, and that he can't figure that out. But the problem I have with Cassidy is that he had a chance to make a political deal with Trump over RFK Jr.
I think he did.
He didn't get out. He should have had a signed.
He should have had a
signed right endorsement. He was incompetent as a politician. Yeah. He was holding all the cards. He blew it, and I don't know that I want a politician that's that incompetent as our senator.
Yeah.
I admire his courage, and I'm sure I'd rather have him in there than Letlow. I know your opinion is that they're going to all vote the same.
They all vote the same
anyway. But Letlow would never vote to convict him, and that vote may come up again.
It would probably will.
Yeah, I mean,
she's not. I mean, once she gets into the fold,
she's in the fold.
She can't get out.
She's in the fold.
But I understood that Cassidy did have an agreement that he would not put somebody up against him. And of course, an agreement with Trump.
Yeah, you have to have it pretty solid. I mean, you have to have
I don't think there is a way to have it solid with him. I think, he's going to go with whatever he wants at the time.
He's very transactional. But I think that Cassidy didn't handle it well politically, and I don't think I think he's probably will pay the price for it.
I think he will. I'm waiting to see what happens with some of the other elections in Louisiana as well. To see, we have Steve Scalise, who's been in forever, and of course, Louisiana is still on the bottom of most things that matter. And I don't know why a U.S. representative with such power as Scalise and Little Mike can't make Louisiana move up. But they support all these policies
that hurt Louisiana,
that keep them down. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the only thing they get, oh great, we get an AI up in Monroe, and we get a couple of detention centers that provide jobs in rural areas, and so that's as much as we can expect
Well,
out of our representatives.
the main thing that Louisiana gets out of the federal government for our economy is disability payments to citizens,
Yeah,
Medicaid payments,
yeah, but is that
affordable health payments that support a lot of jobs. It brings a lot of money, and Louisiana gets what, twice as much benefits than the taxes that it pays.
Oh yeah,
And those are the things that Louisiana's economy benefits from, are the things that are on the chopping block for Trump.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
You know, all the benefits, all the health benefits, all the income benefits, SNAP, all of that stuff is what's on the chopping block for Trump. And that's the things that Louisiana benefits the economy from. You're right. We're not getting education. We're not
getting jobs. Well, we got a few jobs, but not a lot of jobs.
Well, the jobs are coming through the benefits that, you know, for instance, the retailers do well with SNAP. Yeah. Well, hell, he tried to cut SNAP.
Yeah.
The
hospitals are going to suffer.
The hospitals, that's another thing.
You know, with Medicaid and all these changes are going to suffer in Louisiana, and you know the people are already suffering.
And his biggest cheerleaders are from Louisiana.
It's unbelievable.
It is just astounding. I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah, I don't either. And I think that it's going to take a big blue vote in November to be able to make some changes, but I don't think Louisiana we're going to change at all. It's kind of depressing.
Well, we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting to see what the March No Kings rally is going to look like. I mean, you could see a lot going on there. You know, the Minneapolis thing is unfolding in an interesting way, and we'll see what happens. But I think one of the biggest things that are happening, and you've touched on it, is that people, like Republicans, he still has a 70%, 75% approval rating with Republicans. That's gone down from 90%. But one of the things that we're going to have to watch is what happens when people are now seeing things. They're seeing people being shot. They're hearing, you know, the people being called terrorists. But then when you look at the film, you find out that Donald Trump visually is not telling the truth. You know, your eyes can tell that he is not telling the truth. His cabinet members are not telling the truth. And at some point, you would think that would have an effect. It would cause a toll to be paid for by the liars. I mean, how long can you just out and out lie to people before they've said, well, wait a minute, this is enough? And I think we're beginning to see that.
I'm not sure in Louisiana, but I think in a lot of parts of the country, it's the way it is. And, you know, I am very encouraged by the fact that people are speaking out and the fact that we have people in.
I'm a segue us into another topic that we want
to. But we have to go soon because we're not going to have an hour show.
Okay. All right. But I was talking to our mutual friend, Mike Hurston, and he was talking about a fellow up in Oregon who has been a complete Trump supporter.
Oh, no kidding.
And he said, I've had it with Trump. And he said, I can't take the Greenland thing. That's not America first. And it's interesting what it is that the subject that will turn somebody off.
And that's pretty brave for somebody who has been a follower of the MAGA and can say, hey, I've had enough.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that we have more people that can find their integrity and whatever. But we're gonna have to call it quits for tonight, and we will be back soon, I hope.
Yeah, we've got plenty to talk about.
There's plenty to talk about, and it's and we're getting into an election time. I mean, the farther we get out of this cold weather and into the warm weather.
The primaries are in May in Louisiana.
Yeah. So anyway, we will see you next time. That beautiful music is Zach Villery. Check him out on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, or wherever you get your music.